Hello students, today's lesson is about the portrait of a lady written by Khushwant Singh, and it is the first chapter of your Hornbill textbook. So the portrait of a lady is actually an autobiographical writing as it talks about the relationship between the author and his grandmother. Now, it also talks about the changes that come in their relationship due to time and circumstances. The text also talks about the immense love which the grandparents bestow on their grandchildren. So let us read the story to find out what it is all about. Okay? So the writer says that he had been seeing his grandmother for the past 20 years and she looked terribly old. The writer mentions that whenever anyone used to tell him that the grandmother looked very beautiful during her young age, the writer never used to believe those people. Do you know why? Because the grandmother looked old, and for the past 20 years the writer saw that the grandmother looked terribly old. So he always thought that the grandmother could not have been beautiful when she was young, or he did not even believe that his grandmother was young at a certain point of time. Okay, now the writer gives a description of the grandmother. He says that his grandmother was short, fat, slightly bent, and her face was crisscross of wrinkles, or there were wrinkles all over her face. Okay, and she had been in this condition for the past 20 years. Okay, but still in this old condition the writer saw beauty in her. The writer says that she was as beautiful as a winter landscape. Okay, do you know why the writer thought that the old lady looked like a beautiful winter landscape? Because she wore spotless white sari. She used to carry beads of rosary which she used to count as she said her prayers. Her lips used to move in inaudible prayer, and she would count or move the beads of the rosary along with her prayer. And her silver locks could be seen scattered over her pale puckered face. Her appearance gave an expression of serenity, calmness, peace, contentment, and that is why the writer compares her with the beautiful winter landscape. Okay, now the writer describes about his relationship with the grandmother when she used to live in the village. Now at that time, when the writer was young, his parents had left him to live along with his grandmother. The parents had gone away to the city. Okay, and the writer lived with his grandmother in the village while the parents were away in the city. Okay, and it was at this time when the writer was young. He was a small boy and lived along with his grandmother, and the relationship between them was very good. Okay, there was a great attachment or love existing between the grandmother and the author. And the grandmother used to wake up the writer early in the morning. She used to get him bathed, dressed up, and while she used to bathe the writer, she used to say her prayers loudly so that the writer would learn those prayers. Okay, next, after bathing the writer, she used to get all the things prepared for the school. For example, wooden slate, yellow chalk, ink pot, red pen, etc. She used to bundle these items, okay, so that the writer can carry these items to the school. Okay, together they used to have the morning breakfast. And what was the morning breakfast that they used to have? They used to have stale chapatis on which butter was put and some sugar was spread on it. Okay, so this was their morning breakfast. The grandmother used to carry several stale chapatis. Okay, and Where they used to go? The grandmother and the writer used to go to school. Now you must be wondering, why is the grandmother going to school along with the writer? Now remember that in the village the school was attached with the temple. So grandmother always used to accompany the writer to the school. Why? Because while the writer took his learning in the school, or while the writer was taught in the school, the grandmother used to sit down in the temple in order to pray. Okay, and after the writer was finished with the learning, he would come back, and also the grandmother used to take the writer home. Okay, and while they used to come back home, they used to tear bits of those stale chapatis and give it to the village dogs, and the village dogs used to growl and fight over those bits of chapatis. Okay, so this was the relationship or the attachment of the grandmother and the author. Okay, and this closeness and attachment was there when the writer and the grandmother lived in the village. Okay, and the writer was young. Okay, now next came the turning point in their relationship. Now when did this happen? When the turning point in the relationship came? Now when the parents came back from the city, the parents were actually settled in the city by that time, and they came back to take the writer and the grandmother along with them so that they also could live in the city. Now in the city, the writer went to an English medium school, and the grandmother could not accompany the writer. Okay, she felt lonely. Both of them shared the same room, but still the writer was away to school, and grandmother used to feel very lonely, and there were no village dogs to feed chapatis too. Okay, so this time in the city, what she did, in order to get rid of her loneliness, she used to feed the sparrows, and she found companionship and attachment in the sparrows. Okay, she sought refuge in the companionship of the sparrow. She sought refuge from loneliness, or she sought escape from loneliness in the companionship of the sparrows. Okay, the grandmother was very dissatisfied with the lessons that were given in the English school, because she could not help the writer with the lessons, because the lessons were all about law of gravity, Archimedes principle, the world being round, etc. So all these things made the grandmother very unhappy, because she could not help the writer in his lessons. Okay, and what disturbed her a lot was that when she heard that music lessons were given in the writer's school, that means the writer was taking music lessons. Now why did this fact disturb the grandmother? Do you know? This fact disturbed the grandmother because now she was a very traditional woman. She had a very traditional type of thinking. Okay, she always associated music with prostitutes and beggar. Okay, she thought that music and dancing or music was only associated with harlots and beggars, or beggars and prostitutes or harlots only played music. Okay, so that is why she never accepted music to be good. Okay, then next point comes when the writer was old enough and he had to go to the university. Okay, so he was a grown-up man. Now he had to go to the university for further studies, and he had to live in a hostel or in a rented room in order to study in the university. So what happened? The only link between the grandmother and the author snapped. Okay, because the author was away living somewhere alone, and the grandmother was alone at home. Okay, so she was very lonely. Okay, she used to feel very lonely, and what did she do in order to get rid of her loneliness? Now she used to spend time with her spinning wheel. Okay, she used to recite prayers, and during the afternoon she used to relax herself by feeding the sparrows. Okay, it was during the afternoon that she would have a happy time to feed the sparrows. Now, after the completion of university studies, there comes a point when the writer had to go abroad for further studies. Okay, and this time period was 5 years. That means he had to remain abroad for 5 years, and the writer had expected that when he would return, he would find his grandmother to be dead because she was very, very old. Okay, but this did not happen. When he came back, he saw that the grandmother was still the same. Okay, the grandmother had come to pick him up at the railway station. Her lips moved in inaudible prayer, and she counted the beads of a rosary. Okay, and the grandmother was very happy, but she did not express her happiness in joyful words, okay, or in good words. Rather, how did she express her happiness? She expressed her happiness by feeding the sparrows. She was very happy that day, and that day also she fed the sparrows, and that's how she expressed her happiness. Okay, in that day's evening, the grandmother behaved very differently. Now, what did she do? She started gathering the ladies or women of the neighborhood. She got hold of a dilapidated drum and started beating the drum and singing the homecoming of warriors, or she sang of the homecoming of warriors. Okay, and the entire family of the grandmother was very tense. Do you know why? Because they did not want the old lady to strain herself so much or to take so much of stress or strain. Okay, they asked the old woman to take rest. Okay, so the next morning, what happened? The grandmother was taken ill, and the doctor said that she had a mild fever. But the grandmother thought differently. The grandmother thought that her end had come. Okay, so she spent her time praying, and her lips moved in inaudible prayer. She counted the beads of the rosary, but suddenly what happened? Her body became lifeless. She was dead. Her body became completely pale and lifeless. Okay, and the beads of rosary dropped from her lifeless fingers. Okay, and the entire family mourned for her death. They started crying. Okay, but after some time they left the body in order to make preparations for funeral. Okay, and the body was covered with a red shroud. Okay, and what happened when the sun was about to set, or when it was during the time of sunset? Okay, the family saw a very unusual thing happening. And what was that unusual thing? They saw that there were thousands of sparrows all over the veranda and also in her room. Okay, right up to the place where she lay dead. Okay, so the family felt very pity for the birds because there was no one to feed them. So what the mother did was that the writer's mother spread some breadcrumbs on the floor so that the sparrows could eat those breadcrumbs. But the sparrows were very unhappy. They ignored the breadcrumbs. There was no chirping sound, nothing. Okay, usually the sparrows used to chirp a lot whenever earlier when the grandmother used to feed the sparrows used to perch on her head. Some would sit on her shoulders, some would sit on her legs. Okay, so the sparrows also used to enjoy the companionship of the grandmother. But now when the grandmother was dead, they were all very silent. So this shows the relationship of a human being with the animals, or how the grandmother had established a relationship with the sparrows. Okay, and even the sparrows were very quiet. They were silent. They completely ignored the breadcrumbs. Okay, they remained silent. And when the body of the grandmother was taken away, all the sparrows flew away. Okay, none of them ate the breadcrumbs that were scattered on the floor. Okay, so this was how the story ended. Okay, so that's all for today. Right up to